Hey, what's up, you guys? This is AFG bringing another action figure review to you. And this review is of the Mary Jane, well, the Spider-Man Mary Jane 2-pack, but I got her, on the loose. So it's just technically me getting the Marvel Legends Mary Jane, although she does come from that Spider-Man 2-pack. So let's take a look at Miss Mary Jane here. So she is a very solid figure. This is a figure I actually at first I was hating on her. And when that 2-pack first came out, I wanted the Spider-Man more than I wanted her, which I don't really know because I already had a Mary Jane figure, but it was an older model, and I don't know. I was just thinking dumb at that point, but I don't know. I just thought there was something off about this figure, which there are some things a little off about her. I guess I'll get into her bad points, the pros and the cons. Well, for cons, I mean, her muscle tone is all right, but I don't really like. Okay, her arms are definitely better than the. Then again, it kind of does look like the same problem with the Electra figure from the Marvel Netflix universe, but actually, it's not that bad. Actually, the Electra figure is worse, but her arms doesn't look that great. They look okay. They look better than Electra, especially from certain poses and certain angles. But overall, her arms doesn't look that great, and I don't like. Obviously, this is a reused buy mode because of the Claire Temple figure from the Luke Cage 2-pack, which I don't have. But Marvel Legends does that all the time, so that's not really nothing for me to gripe about. But and also her little purse accessory here is nice, even though it's been used like a dozen times with the Green Goblin figures. But where she really shines is her face sculpt and the freckles in her face, her makeup. She shines there, and the coloring and texture of her hair. I love it. Love her hair. And I also like her outfit. I like the sculpting of her pants. I really like that. I like that a lot. And I even like her shoes. I like how her little flats, are sculpted like that. I like the tuck and pull in of her jeans. And like I said, I like the faded coloring in her jeans. I really like that a lot. So I'm really digging that. And her, purse has a very nice color and texture to it as well. Now, like I was hitting on before, depending on which comic artist draws her, the freckles in her face, I love that. I absolutely love it. So her one accessory is her purse. And jumping right into articulation, which I know is a given for you collectors out there. So she could turn her head to the left and the right that much. She could look up about that much, a pretty decent, fair amount, especially with long hair. She could look down that much. Arms hinge and full rotation goes out pretty far. Her arms go out. Damn. All right. You got a bend at the arm, a single bend. You do have a hinge in her wrist, up and down, and you do have full rotation. Very, very, very interesting imposable diaphragm in her. So you have that. You do. She has the diaphragm, but she has no rotation in her waist, so that's out. An upper thigh cut for rotation. Doubly jointed knees and ankle pivot and up and down hinge in her feet. So she is a very solid figure. I'll probably give her an 8 out of 10. Um, Maybe an 8.5 out of 10, just because her sculpting is so good. This is a definitive Mary Jane for me. There's not a lot of Mary Jane figures, and a lot of them I didn't get because most of the Mary Jane figures were horrible in the past. So this is a very good and very solid updated Mary Jane figure, especially for me. Um, yeah, I would probably give it an 8.5 out of 10. I'm kind of going back and forth between an 8 out of 10 or 8.5 out of 10. I don't know. Um, I guess maybe if I spend a little more time with this figure, I'll fall in love with her even more. But I do love her sculpting. Also, Marvel Legends really need to start giving the female figures um, fingernail paint, because it just looks weird when you have all these female figures and they don't have their fingernails painted. I know that that's a little crazy nitpick for me to have and complain about, but when you really think about it, you know, I'm not trying to be stereotypical or anything, but you know, if you're going to give a woman makeup, you know, just commit to the whole thing. You know what I mean? You give a woman makeup, give her some fingernail paint, and you know. So that's a little gripe, I guess. Her arms, I'm not really in love with. I don't know, just for some reason, it's just sticking out to me. It's not as bad, like I said, as the Elektra figure with the Netflix universe, which I do love that figure, just because the sculpting on it is so good, but her arms just look really weird. But anyway, that's that review. But this review, I really, really do like this Mary Jane figure. It's a lot of reused parts, obviously, because you know that's how Marvel Legends do, and that's how they save their money. That's not really a problem for me. I really love this figure, the sculpting of her clothes. I do like her body, not in that way, but I mean, I like, you know, she's in a nice 6-inch scale range alongside Peter back there, so she looks really good. I think that she's a really solid figure, and yeah, and overall, I'm very, very happy with her. So that's the review. I guess I'm gonna settle on a final score of probably an 8.5 out of 10. I think the sculpting really won me over. She has a nice purse accessory. I like the sculpting of her clothes. I love the sculpting of her hair, the freckles on her face. So yeah, and she's a great addition added to my Spidey universe here. An updated Mary Jane for me to have. So yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with this figure. So that's the review. Until the next time, guys. See ya.